Hello, my people. This is Fly Dance.
And Mr. T
This is Allegiance.
to the game. What's going on?
Yeah, man. We say, my guy. How you doing?
Ain't not too bad, man. Let's chill on this Friday night, waiting for this
Yeah,
game tomorrow.
100, man. 100. Yeah, good game coming up. A big game against Leicester. We call it a big game because we need to, get another win. We need to make sure that we have that leverage over Man City.
And Man
Uh,
United as well, man.
yeah. Man United are really performing. Yeah, and those are the ones that we've got to look out for, man. The dark horses. They're creeping back up there, man. It's been a long week. I'll say it's been a long 3-4 weeks. So I just want to sort of touch on some of our previous games before we start on about how we're going to perform or how we're going to set up against Leicester. So let's start with the game against. We know that we lost against Man City. Terrible loss at home, and I think
Mm.
all of us felt it. And I don't know. I mean, I felt like a lot of Arsenal fans felt that that could be it. That could be it. That we'll probably end up giving over the title or the title challenge.
Mm.
I mean, did you see it like that? How did you see it with that performance?
Really,
And mm,
the performance. I think we done it right. Obviously, one of those games that we done it right the first half, done good, and then we didn't do too bad second half. But yeah, they kind of took their chances basically, and I think it was if we had the yeah, we needed a bit more up top. Like it seems like where
mm,
creativity is a bit drying up a little bit. But we don't, and no team can be on the top of their game in it like throughout the whole season.
yeah,
And this
yeah,
is the little dip that they're taking. But this is where when
yeah,
you have like those level players in it, that will
yeah,
that'll
yeah,
get those wins in it when you're playing a bit, you're having frustrating games. And this is what I'm saying to people.
hmm
It's that when you're getting those frustrating games, this is where we're going to see like if you've got the players to dig them out, or if Nketiah can step up and get them goals when things are not flowing as well. And since we haven't been
correct.
flowing as well, you'll see we haven't really picked up any points apart from obviously the last game. So City game, you kind of did think like once they won that game now, it's just like, yeah, it's gonna throw in their momentum, but lucky enough, boy, you know what I
hmm
mean? They went and flopped it, flopped it the next game. Was it not in the Forest? Yeah,
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah,
yeah, so it
they
kept us
surprised
really
us
good.
all, man. We was all surprised. We was all shocked by that result. Like that result was crazy. And obviously, because going from that game, we then had the game against Aston Villa. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I was nervous, bro. I was a bag of nerves because I've seen the game against Man City. I've seen the mistakes we make, and I thought to myself, right, this is a big test here. Are we going to be the Arsenal like in the past? Where remember, this is the time of the season where a lot of the time we used to kind of crumble and we used to
That's
drop
what people are saying.
major points. So I was thinking, don't let this be just sort of another one of those seasons where we drop major points in a key part of the season. Got to go and play Aston Villa at Villa Park with Unai Emery as their manager. So he wants to get one up on us.
Mm,
Martinez in goal as well. And excuse my French, but he can be a bit of a. I like him, but you know what he's like.
yeah,
He'll try and wind us up and get under our skin. And and to be honest, I am surprised about it. But I always say that if you're going to win the season, you have to. Sometimes things just have to go your way, and I think we showed a lot of courage and a lot of skill there to compete and finally get the win, basically from the 89th minute. I mean, I think that's absolutely fantastic. Um, it was a bit fortunate with Jorginho's shot to bring it to 3-2, but what a strike
yeah.
it was, man. And I suppose that is why we have bought players like that who can change the game. I think we was all surprised by this transfer, but to have him in the team with his experience and quality, he just thought, sod it, man. Let's go for it. I'm not sure any other player in that position would have done that, other than maybe Partey or someone who was injured. So
Mm, mm. Yeah, they
yeah,
pulled out the
big
bag,
up.
man.
Yeah, they pulled out of the bag, and I think we showed a lot of courage there. So yep, here we are, the big game against Leicester tomorrow. Now we know Leicester's kind of been on a bit of, they've kind of had a bit of up and down form. They've been doing quite well recently, but we know that they lost to Man United the other day, so I'm hoping that that will affect their performance against us. Um, I mean, how do you see how do you think we'll set up against them? And
Do you know what? There's not even we're not even surprised because I think
mm,
Arteta plays them generally the same way. like
Yeah, he
every
does.
game.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless there's an injury or whatnot. Only thing he
Mm-hmm.
done recently, obviously, was the last game. He gave Martelli a rest and he
Mm.
started Tossard. So I don't know if he
Yeah.
done that just to give Martelli a rest or he just thought, you know what, let's give Tossard a little more run in the game in the team. So I
Mm.
don't know. I would hope that let Martelli chill back a bit again
Yeah.
and let Tossard play. But other than I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be the same old, same again. Partey is not back. I don't think he's back yet.
No, he's not back yet. Yep.
Like I said, he may be, but I think genuinely it's maybe. I don't think they will play.
Mm. Yeah.
Even Gab, isn't it? I heard Gab as well. He's back in training and he was fighting to try
Mm.
and get ready for this game, but there's no. Say rest him up in it. The thing is, with Leicester, they're a different team with Madison, and but they're a different team with Madison. When
Mm-hmm.
Madison plays, they're a different team, and I think he's injured. I think so.
Yeah.
I see us winning that one. I see us winning that one. But we need to.
Yeah.
We're not as fluid as we've been recently. We
Mm-hmm.
haven't been fluid
Mm-hmm.
in the games before. So and I keep saying to people, it's a new Arsenal team, innit? So it's hard.
Mm.
You can't go in there and say, yeah, that they're gonna be like this because they ain't been in this position before. You know what I mean? This is like
Mm-hmm.
the title running now. So now we're learning to see like how they're gonna react now. So they've had a shitty time.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Luckily, Man City have ain't been flowing at all season, so they've been
Yeah.
slipping up. So we're gonna see if they can. You know what I mean? They can bounce back in and get back into form. Um, yeah, and start pushing through still. But I suspect because they ain't got Madison as well. Yeah, I don't. I see us winning that game. But I did always say that we're going to have a frustrating time up front because I don't think Eddie was going to keep scoring. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, we hope we get the wingers and that getting in there and get their flow back again.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I agree as well. And I think because we kind of all expect to win as well, I definitely think this is a game that I expect Eddie to maybe, try and get on the score sheet here. I'm hoping that, tonight gets enough rest and he's expecting to get on the score sheet, fam. Because since he's 2 goals against Manchester United,
Mm,
we haven't really seen him. I mean, don't get me
mm,
wrong, he's a good player, lovely touches. He works well with the team, he gels with them well, but we need him to be a bit more in the box. We just need to have a bit more of that urgency, that belief in himself to score goals. I've seen him put himself and find himself in certain positions where you think a decent striker, a decent top Premier League striker, that's in the back of the net,
mm.
and he's kind of not. It's like he's not believing in. He's not believing in himself at the moment,
You
and
know what it
I'm
is?
trying to figure out what it is.
I don't know because I know when people say that, but it's like it happens, in it? And I guess it's just a part of you in it, you as a baller, you as your personality, because no one continues scoring and flipping every game. Haaland, even though he's had his mad one, he hasn't scored for a few games. I mean, he missed a sitter as well on the weekend. So, but you just gotta have that thing of like, okay, cool. I mean, it's gonna go again. But the thing about Eddie, he's what I call him is the end of a move guy, and he's at the end of things. So when things are flowing and being not created, he's at the end. So if it's not flowing well, then he's kind of a bit redundant. You know what I mean? He's not someone that's going to get the ball and score a banger at the box, or he's going to run through bare man and score goals. So, and let's think so well ahead because they're having a bit of frustration front at the top, at the start, at the front of the team. He's
Mm-hmm.
just, yeah, he's just kind of struggling. But he's had chances as well, and then as I said, like I don't know, he's lost his composure, or maybe he's just, I don't know, maybe he was just in that flow, and then now that flow is stopped
Mm.
now then he's starting to try and go back to normal Eddie. Like he was in a hype, like going in that flow, and then he's gone back to normal kind of what we expect of him before that. But
Mm.
hopefully he can get back in. He just like Arsenal, they ain't been flowing too well the last
Yeah,
few games.
exactly. Yeah,
Hopefully, next this game now they just jump back on it again. But yeah,
absolutely.
we need different anyway. We need some yeah, we need Gab back anyway. Even if even if
100%.
it's just even if it's just for an alternative. Not that Eddie's doing poor, yeah, but sometimes you need something different. And you see, like even Haaland, sometimes they need to dash on Alvarez in there, or they've got to dash someone else on there. And
Absolutely.
Arsenal haven't got that bench really to that Arteta seems to. You know what I mean? So and obviously there's no other striker, so Eddie has to pay every minute. So that's a bit of pressure on him, you know.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
A bit of pressure, but I mean, all right, just continue on that. This is not a dig at you, Eddie. So don't take it personal. But I mean, we're top of we're top of the league. We're top of the league, bro. Now I know we talk about pressure, but we've got a young player here who plays alongside other two fantastic young players in Martinelli and our boy Saka,
Mm.
who, in my personal opinion, Saka, obviously we can't even put them in the same put their names in the same sentence. With regards to Martinelli, he's also has performed. He showed that he can perform, and I think his case was a bit of just a little bit tired and needs a bit of rest. So it's good that we've got an experienced player like Trossard who also has skill, bit of flair, and so forth, and can score goals.
Mm.
But Nketiah, for me personally, he hasn't done enough to warrant him not goal scoring anyway. I mean, we mentioned and comparing to Haaland. I mean, fam, Haaland, how many hat tricks has he scored already this season? It doesn't surprise me that he burned out a little bit. He's got a little bored, and maybe he needs to hold the bench for a couple of games and get that hunger back. Absolutely, and maybe look at what he needs to do or how to adapt his game. Eddie
I
is
think
not in that situation. He needs to be scoring. He needs to be scoring, bro. You can't score 2 goals against Man United and then be absent for the next 4 or 5 games. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
We're not asking
but
him to score every game. We're asking him to at least contribute a goal or two because we're trying to win the title here and we need the striker to be firing. And I think he should be using this game tomorrow against Leicester to get back on the score sheet because we're going to need him, even towards the end of the season. Listen, we've got Gabriel Jesus coming back. But at the end of the day, Gabby's just come from a long injury. Anything can happen, even where he might take a knock or he might need to be rested as well to keep him fit. Eddie will still need to fill those boots.
Yeah, that's I guess that it boils down to the manager as well, like by not being prepared in that sense.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
generally that will normally happens with Arsenal when you don't get when they don't get what they're supposed to get in transfer market. As soon as it closes, it hits them. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
as I said, luckily enough, Man City have been stuttering as well. So that's been a
absolutely.
lot in Arsenal's favour. So, but Arsenal ain't been playing that well. Even Villa, they don't play too well either. They don't play
Yeah.
that bad, but they don't play too well. So, I mean, especially in
Mm,
the first half. So, and they're leaking goals, man. They're leaking goals.
yeah,
Um,
we are.
so yeah, so we
Yeah,
just go hope that they get back to normal against Leicester, man.
yeah,
And Leicester are that team that they can just crumble. And as I said, I think without like Madison in the middle there, yeah, I don't think they create too much. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
But then you have
I
to
get
perform
you.
at the end of the day. You have to perform. If you want to win, you have to earn your wins. And that's the thing. So
Yeah, yeah.
hopefully they're back on it. Back on it.
Yeah, yeah. So I just want to touch on there because you said that like we leaking goals, yeah, and I kind of agree. And I'm thinking like, do you think we need to kind of switch it up a bit in defense? I mean, I'm a big fan of Saliba. Don't get me wrong, and obviously Gabs as well. That's our boy. But I just feel like sometimes, even watching Saliba the other day, I just feel like sometimes just making 1 or 2 crucial mistakes. He's not
Yeah,
bad, but
so
it's
it is.
like a lack of concentration or a lack of focus
Yeah,
sometimes.
you know what it is? It's like, what I always said to you and I told people, it's like we need a bit more of a mature. Like, we've got nice free centre backs there now, but I think we still need that mature, bit more of a mature defender. So when
Hmm.
it comes to these, because this is the times that we're going to learn in it, because they're in a pressurizing time. Like start season is one thing, but when you get into these pressurizing times, and you know what I mean, this is where you're gonna tell. And with Arsenal, I think there's a lot of laid back, chilled players like who
Yeah.
play in that way. Saliba plays in that way. Do you know what I mean? Like Shevchenko plays in that way, and they always
Mm.
be really composed and to that. And sometimes you got to think, come on, like you got to know into this. Like, all right, cool, let's just get it out. Do you know what I mean? And some
Yeah.
of the times, some of the games that we play, even against City, they're composed and playing it back, but there's too much or overdoing it. Do you know what I mean? Rather than being productive with it, and they were getting the ball taken off them, and they're making a sloppy mistake here and there. And then, yeah, so I think that's what it is. I think just maybe immaturity. I think probably it's a young team, and I think
Well,
it's a bit immaturity the way
well,
they play.
yeah, it's funny you say that because when I watched the City game, I saw that with Tommy, where he had a little bit of pressure on Jack Grealish, but I mean, Jack wasn't putting that much pressure. He's just doing what he's supposed to do. He's just trying to, stay tight on him. He's running back to his own goal, and instead of maybe do like a little swivel and just sort of try and clear it, even if it goes out of touch. What he's done, he's tried to knock it back to the goalkeeper, not realizing that there's a big hole there, and KDB was there was trying to fill that gap, and that's what he done. And he just
Mm.
attacked the ball and knocked it past the goalkeeper. and you think to yourself like, it just feels like some bad habits are creeping in. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
And
I
we
think
kind of
what
saw
I'll
that.
you
Yeah,
go
what was
say?
you? Yeah, what was you gonna say? Sorry on that.
No, I saw that more of like others. Because Tommy, I think I mean, like he's a bust in it. Like he normally gets the
Yeah,
job done in it. And
he
it was
does.
one obviously one thing, and the way he plays in, he's quite professional and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so I wouldn't put it to him too much, even though it would lead to a goal and stuff. But
Mm,
I think it's more the other players as well. Like Shevchenko does it a lot. You know what I mean? Does it a lot.
mm,
And Saliba's very chill back as well sometimes. But sometimes you just need to, we need to kind of step it up a little bit. You got to step it up. But yeah, I think sometimes we just need that little bit of stuff. I think just a bit of immaturity, a little bit of immaturity in their game.
yeah,
But
I
this is
agree.
what we're going to find out now. We're going to find out kind of this is another
Mm,
part of the season where this new
yeah.
team, Arsenal team, we're going to find out if they can kind of deal with the pressure. And the thing is, what I didn't
Mm,
want is even though people, they'll jump points, City shopping points, I didn't want Man United to get involved. And then now looks like people are asking, oh, are they in the title race? I'm like, come on, man, of course they are. If they're 3 points behind City, same games, and City are in it, then of course they're in it. I mean,
they are.
so,
Uh,
you
they
know what
are.
I'm saying?
Anything is possible, and yeah, they're flying at the moment. To be honest, they're the ones to really look out for. I mean, they've got a fantastic player in form in Rashford. Bruno Fernandes feels like he's kind of finally felt, finding his feet properly, especially since now, like, Ronaldo's left. He can
Yeah,
kind of just, yeah, he doesn't have to, there's no one that he has to answer to or in any of that way. He can kind of play with his leadership qualities, basically. And they've got another young player called, Garnacho.
Garnacho.
Yeah,
Yeah, so,
thank you. And then you've also got some of the technical other players like Anthony who might come on and do a thing here or two, and so they've got and they've got a really resilient manager, man. Their manager, he's poker faced. You could tell he's assertive. He's about his job, and sort of like what we kind of see in Arteta as well. I just feel that at times Arteta's been a little bit, overly vocal on the touchlines and that. And I think, sometimes he needs to be a bit more poker faced in some of those big games to let all the players know that everything's under control. We got this.
yeah,
I think that's where we've slipped a little bit, you know what I mean?
yeah. The character as well. Like I was saying about characters, like when the City in the City game, where
Mm,
I think Arteta done something, and then and then the boy in the push Arteta.
yeah, yeah,
I'm like, respond to that, respond to that. Especially it's at home as well,
yeah,
like respond to it. You
yeah,
just push your manager, and obviously not, but it's like respond to it. You're not Liverpool, like
yeah,
last year, obviously not this season, but the season before, when you see where Lampard got into it with Klopp. What happens? Liverpool guys spank them. You know what I mean? They
yeah,
just like
yeah,
it gives them a little bit more up. Arteta done the same thing with Klopp. What happened? They went and gone spanked Arsenal 3 goals.
yeah,
It's like respond to that, like use that, especially if it's at home and it's like stuff like that. It's like come on, we should have used that. I mean, to give it a bit more
mm,
fuel and go out more, but we didn't. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
still in character though, still in character.
yeah, yeah. I hear you still. I hear you. But anyway, yes, we've got a big game tomorrow. So kick off is going to be at 3 o'clock. So who do you think is going to be the starting eleven? It's going to be self-explanatory, really. But here we go. Then.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's going to be the same team. Yeah, same team. Because it is.
Same team. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the bench doesn't hold much weight in my eyes. And I've seen it with
Mm.
Arteta. He doesn't. If you watch the way he makes subs, he doesn't. The most subs he makes is defenders because I think he trusts them more
Yeah,
in that position. Like Tierney will come on and Tommy will come on.
yeah,
But everywhere else he's a bit tentative. Unless we're winning the game, like clearly, then he won't. He will make sums quite late.